Welcome along to the home podcast, which is now the isolated edition because we're now all isolated because of COVID-19. This podcast, as I always say at the start, was started because I was alone at home in a house share in London because I'd moved there for comedy value and left my wife in Mansfield. But now it's very different. I'm back and I'm talking to comedians and creatives and basically friends that I know on all walks of life about how we're now all isolated on our own, in our own houses, due to the COVID-19 lockdown. I've got a Harriet Dyer this time, who's a great friend of mine. I've known her for so long, it's absolutely amazing. I can't wait to have her on. I'll just do the quick stuff at the start. Obviously, you've got to subscribe up here, all that sort of stuff. Please do that to my YouTube channel. That'd be lovely if you could subscribe. And I've got a Patreon going across the bottom. If you want to become a member of the Patreon, that'd be great. You can get merch, you can get all sorts of stuff. I've got loads of merch. There's mugs, there's caps, there's tote bags, which my wife maybe put on there this time. She said, people will like a tote bag, John, so put a tote bag in. So that's what I've done. There's a tote bag. So yeah, we're going to get on with Harriet Dyer, who is living in a lovely place called Glossop now. But she's going to come on. We're going to speak to her. So welcome Harriet Dyer, everybody. Say hello to Harriet.
Hello!
There you are. I thought you were going to try and make me then not think you were there. Like you were just going to go look at like Frozen. So that's a perfect Frozen face.
My friend, I did it with some friends the other day, and then she said they thought I had. Is it Bowles palsy where your face goes numb? But that's what Hayley said.
That's not what you've got.
No. There was a girl in my class at school that had that. She didn't know she had that until, her face just didn't work, really.
Nice.
So,
welcome along to the podcast.
Is your tote bag that you're selling the one behind you?
No, that's the one that I'm trying to get sponsorship from Giacomo for.
Ah, that's good. That's a good idea, John.
I don't know if you're technically allowed to do it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I've got Adidas here, so if anyone from Adidas...
this isn't the try and sell your wares podcast. That's not what we're doing. Look at you. I've got Adidas on. I've got a nice top on. That's also I've got that, John. Well, look, I've got a nice. Where did you get your rolling banner from for Barking Tales?
eBay. Everything's eBay. To be honest, if it's not even from Adidas, it's from eBay. It happens to be Adidas.
I know, you've got loads of trainers. Remember last time I came to your house, you've got shed loads of new trainers that you were getting off eBay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, because I'm quite a schemy lady, so I've always got a fad or something I plan to do. So it was at the time, I'm going to buy trainers on eBay and then sell them on.
And did you? No, you just kept them.
No, absolutely not. I just thought, I like them. I ended up like a bloody millipede with all the fucking trainers I had.
More trainers than a millipede. That's brilliant. That's why I love talking to you. So, Harry, you're isolating, obviously, like everybody else, in your flat with your boyfriend, fiance, or fiance. What is it? Fiance.
Because it sounds wanky.
So you always say fiance. Yeah. So you're your fiance, and you've got 2 children with you at the moment. Is that right?
Yeah, we've got 4 all together, but not together. So he's got 4 children. But that sounds like I don't want anything to do with them, and I ideally do. I'm quite fond of them. But 2 are with the grandmama, and the nice one. And 2 are with us. People are so aggressive all the time. Honestly, always on about body slamming everyone. No. It's 60. Calm it down.
Who's body slamming people at 60?
There you go. I thought bloody well I was going to say a name.
I'm not even body slamming people at 37.
I've never body slammed anyone. I've accidentally body slammed myself. You know when you do a handstand at school and then someone would go into a crab, and then you try and go into a crab, and then you fucking slam your back on the floor and you'd wind yourself.
Is that what you did?
Done that about 6 times.
Of course you have. Why would you not have?
It's awful.
That's ridiculous.
Really takes the wind out of you.
Really, honestly, it does really take the wind out of you. That's what body slamming it's what it's all about. So there's So there's two children, you and...
Yeah. Can you take his name out? Are you editing?
Yeah, I can edit that, yeah.
Okay. Because he hasn't paid his council tax, so I don't want him coming off. Because I said we're not together. I'm not even joking.
I can't believe it. You're not even joking.
No.
Oh no! Why has he not paid his council tax?
Oh, he doesn't believe in it. But no, we can't go into it. Oh me, I cannot get into it.
No, okay. I love him dearly as well. He's such a great guy. Now I love these little things I find out about him like that. But I'm just like, why? Doesn't.
Well, do you remember as well the flat Earth?
Yeah, the flat Earth was great. I started to write a bit on the flat Earth recently.
Oh really?
I started thinking when I was writing it. Is he still on the flat Earth? Oh, I've said his name again. Is he still on the flat Earth?
Just do a beep.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Yeah. Is he still on the Flat Earth Society thing?
Oh, heavily
into it. Well, we'll have to have it.
He know that when we travel, when I book the aeroplane, I he doesn't know that I say that the seats aren't together, just so I don't have to hear about him and saying about the Earth's curve.
So funny. I love it. That's so funny. I've got to make a mental note now of the times that I said his name so I can go through the edit properly. Well, make sure that's fine. Don't worry, it'll be all right. So let's not go on about flat Earth because I could be here all day if I do flat Earth stuff. Because I love it. I love talking to people that believe in flat Earth. Has he watched the thing on Netflix though? Has he watched the documentary?
Probably, I would have thought so.
But that
watched something.
It kind of proves that the flat Earth isn't a thing.
Oh no!
So I'd assume he wouldn't like it.
But he watches some that he thinks do prove.
Of course he does. So weird.
We watched. Have you seen? Is it called The Fourth Kind? Where with the aliens and the This is what we watched the other day. Oh my god! So it's this woman that was a psychiatrist, and all these people were being possessed by these aliens, and then her daughter got sucked away by a spaceship.
I have seen that. Is that on Netflix?
I watched it on YouTube. I think.
Don't know then. I have heard of that though. I have heard of it.
I mean, she's found her child.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not get involved in conspiracy theories, Harriet. Let's get involved in... So how are you coping with isolation? How are you coping with being in the house as much as you are?
Well, the sad thing is as well, I've only just passed my driving test, so I should be off driving.
Yeah, that's exactly what
I actually went for a drive yesterday because I figure I didn't get out the car and the roads are clear, so I just went and I went and I went and I went.
That's good.
Oh, good. But do you know what it is? Is the noise and the mess. It's a lot because it's a small flat and it's a lot of people. But I love them dearly. But I have spent the last probably 10 years trying to carve a peaceful, tranquil life. And it's like someone just threw 4 children into that.
I knew exactly where that was going. It's so funny.
Yeah, so it's just a little bit turbulent, but do you know what though? My life's never been simple, so I guess it's just.
Right, so you've only got 10 weeks left of it. You're fine.
Yeah, but they still live here.
Yeah, they won't be in all the time, then, will they?
No, well, because did you know? So the youngest girl, she she went to school and then by the end of the day, so they said bringing cooking stuff for tomorrow, and then by the end of that same day, she was just rushed into getting her shirt signed and not doing GCSEs anymore, and so I just think that's like really traumatizing.
That's it. School's finished now. You're done. That's crazy. That is crazy.
So it is. So she was sort of like really shocked with all that, and then the problem is as well because they want to work. So then I tried to get them jobs at a supermarket, but you've got to be over 18 for that.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, Tesco. Well, to be honest, I just looked at Tesco and then I thought, oh, it must be for everywhere. Yeah, I think I've not done that as well as I should, actually. I'll do a bit more research. But I thought it was the same. Surely it'd be the same in all supermarkets.
Yeah, it should be roughly the same in all supermarkets, I'd imagine. I don't know. I know I looked at Aldi at one point. I might go and start stacking shelves at Aldi.
Aldi, the bloody wage in Aldi is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's 'cause I don't know if it is anymore. Is it still the same?
Yeah. Is it £10?
It's something crazy because you used to have to remember, didn't you? You used to have to remember all the codes and stuff.
Ah. And you wonder, they clock how many things you pack in a minute.
If you're good, they'll bump your house. Oh, they have to be so good to be able to do it, apparently.
That's why you're trying to chat to them and you can't even see the items of food because their hands are going.
Like that.
Yeah.
It catches stuff at the end.
But how sad's this, though, that because of the hours the NHS staff are working, that they're actually on less than Aldi
it's
staff.
Crazy.
Because they're... Yeah,
it's not right. It's not right. I know so many people that are working like nurses and stuff like that, and they're just getting absolutely hammered at the minute. We should be doing more for them. I don't know what else we could do for them, though. What else can we do?
Well, do you know what has been done lately is supermarkets, because they were getting back from these mad shifts, there was no fucking food left. Oh, yes, I saw this.
They were holding food for them, weren't they?
Yeah, so and giving it them for free.
Which is exactly how it should be. I said this to my mother-in-law and Gabby this week. We'll talk about it. They should be getting the meals for free anyway. They should get the meals for free at the hospital. If they could eat the hospital food that's there, you might as well. Do you know what I mean?
Are they not?
No, I don't think so.
And the fact that they have to pay for their parking is
that should be abolished. I'll just leave my car there. I'll just leave it there now. I'll be like, I've got all these parking tickets. You get them written off, surely. Mitigating circumstances. I've just done a 48-hour shift in COVID-19, mate.
Fucking hell.
Mental.
It really is.
But how's your mental health anyway with isolation? Because I know you obviously suffer with mental health. That's one of the main things I know about you.
Well, I have to keep myself busy. I've bought myself do you know what? Speaking to Harriet Kemsley about routine, how important it is, and how important it is to, when you wake up, leave the bed and leave your phone to get stuff done, instead of sometimes I'd be like, I'm just going to look at this, and then I'm in a fucking vortex, and before I know it, I've lost a week. So I'll get, so I've got one of those proper old-fashioned alarm clocks.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm in Fireman Sam because it and then I run out, and then sorry, John, is that my? No, it's on my WhatsApp on my phone, on my laptop.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
So I don't know how to stop it.
That's all right.
Okay.
It's fine.
Let's hope I don't get inundated. Oh, here we go.
Typical technical issues. I love it.
What am I saying? So I'm leaving the bed like Mario, and then like a Mario. Ding, 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 ding. And then I'm going into the bathroom, cleaning my teeth with cold water and then splashing my face. So I'm alert, kettle's on. And then I go into the sofa, not into the sofa. Oh my God, once I was at this party and this guy fucked the sofa. So stuck his dick in it and just fucked it.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
He did. Yeah, he did, because someone said that it's like a vagina.
It isn't, but yeah, okay, I can see what they're saying.
I don't know why I'm looking down my sofa. So
it feels spongy.
So much.
Has the fiance been fucking your sofa?
Oh, I hope not.
Of course he hasn't.
Good. What was I saying?
Don't know.
Oh yes, and I sit on the sofa, and as well I find because we haven't got a very big flat, I was doing, and because it gets cold, because it's like an old stone house, flat.
Yeah.
I got into the habit of doing admin and work in bed, and that's just so bad for your posture.
I do that a lot. I'm always on my phone in my bed, like replying to emails, doing stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's easily done.
I need to get out of that habit.
Yeah, so now I come to the sofa and I make sure my bottom is against the back, and so I'm as erect as can be. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm driving, I'll straighten up and I can feel like each vertebrae just like crunching out. Yeah,
I get that. I've just bought, because you can't tell, but I've got a terrible chair in here. And because I'm here all the time now, pretty much working in this office and doing all this sort of stuff, I've just bought myself a new chair, which I'm hoping gets delivered because of everything that's going on. But it's like a proper one that's going to help my back and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, fantastic!
So I've been getting a bad back from just sitting here all day, pretty much.
Well, what's the back like on that?
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's a really low one.
Oh my god! Awful.
Yeah, well, because I'm getting a bigger, higher one. But I don't want to take this away. Do you know what I mean? I don't want it to take away from all the nice scenery behind me, and Spider-Man looking over my shoulder.
Oh yeah.
But if it's good for my back, it's good for my back. That's what I'll do.
Yeah, maybe you could put the picture that way.
Maybe, but that means we're taking that really heavy fucking picture down.
Is it really heavy?
Yeah, it's glass. It's pure glass. That is.
Oh my god!
It's really good. When next time you come over, you'll have to have a look at it because it is really cool. You can't see it from here. It's like a mosaic-y type glass been smashed and then put back together.
Oh right. Yeah. Did you smash it? Put it back together?
No, I bought it like that, Harriet. I'm not crazy.
You got it and then was like, "This is fucking horrible," and then dropped it.
I got it because it looked amazing.
I know. I'm really joking. So, home-wise, John, I have lived in many a home, and I'm from Cornwall.
Yeah.
And I now live in Glossop, which is near Manchester. I lived in Manchester. I had awful house share problems. And I lived Birmingham, which is where I met you.
Yes, which when we met you, it's going to be 9 years. 9 years, I think it's been now.
When we drove, and we bonded, because we had a tempestuous start. Because I was hack and awful, and this guy hated me, and he really liked the guy.
I didn't hate you. The other guy hated you.
Well, we did have. I don't think we jowled as we should have.
No.
But then once you realise what a lovable rogue I am.
Once I realised what was below that hack exterior.
Isn't that mad as well that I'm like the least hack person ever now?
I think that's why. I think that's why it was so weird. Like we couldn't have because I felt like you weren't being you. Do you know what I mean? Like you weren't being genuine.
Mm.
Whereas now you're like just you. Yeah. Amazing.
Well, I just didn't know what I was supposed to do, and then people would tell. Do you know what? When I was ever at gigs, people would just tell me what I should do, and I just listened to them. So then I just had this hodgepodge of
all other people's ideas.
Yeah, that's.
And look at us now, like best friends. Where did we bonded at driving to Newcastle? I think, didn't we?
Yeah, well, it was the drive back that bonded us because bloody Freddie Farrell fell asleep and was snoring, and then me and you, because those were the days as well when you done a mad drive like that, and then yeah.
We drove back. I think we got back at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I think I was at work for 7:30.
Yeah. And as well, you're that much of a maverick that you'd always, even when you do mad shit like that, you'd still, after dropping me off, have a fuck with me outside.
I've got to get out to bed, but no, we'll have 10 minutes. Crazy.
Yeah. That was the time when I hallucinated and thought because I just think it's so rude if someone's good enough to drive you to fall asleep. So I always make sure I stay awake. But I was so tired. I was seeing trampoline in the middle of the road.
You saw a bouncy castle.
Bouncy castle.
Went, watch out for the bouncy castle. I was like, what? And they were like, oh no, I've just hallucinated that, John, because I'm so tired. I was like, go to sleep. You're like, no, I'm staying awake till we get home. I think that was on the M42 you saw the bouncy castle. It was on the M42, so we weren't far away from Birmingham. We were about half an hour back from your house. Before we got to your house, that's when you started hallucinating.
How do you remember what motorway it was?
I've got a really good memory. Gabby always says this. I've got a terrible memory for stuff like that. She gets really annoyed. Anyway, we've been chatting for 20 minutes now, Harriet. Do you realise that? We're 20 minutes. We've done...
I haven't even spoken about home.
Yeah, well, none of it was about home, but it was all nice to talk to you and find out about your situation with where you're doing and how you're doing in general as a person. Are you doing all right with the whole isolation thing?
Yeah, I think so. I'm very, because I got bipolar, I'm so up and down. So yesterday I was all over the shop, and then today because that is it. I know it's really, especially if you're in such a low spiral, I know it's really awful thing to say, but it is just that thing of it works for me to just keep busy, to just try and focus. Since I've started focusing on these nights with you and stuff like that, it's just really, really helped. Even today, just having this, I did this bloody market research thing.
Yeah.
Earlier, and even just having that, just speaking to someone, and the guy that I did it to had seen me at a gig, so that cheered me up.
So that's nice.
Yeah, and just doing the podcast and stuff, just to keep yourself busy. I think if I just stayed in and watched films all the time, I would just
insane.
Yeah,
you would go insane.
Because as well, it's like, you know, if you're going through a breakup or something, you'll listen to like the saddest songs, and I always think if you shit, you just listen. I just end up watching like abuse, murder, and then Gabby
was like that the other day. We were like we've watched like that thing that's on ITV that's called, I can't remember what it's called now. Liar, it's called Liar. And
yes, I watched season 1.
Yeah, seeing that, we were like watching that, and I was like, I can't binge watch this. It's about sexual abuse. I'm like, I can't do it. It's like I can watch 1 and then I'm all right, but I can't watch like 6 on the go.
No,
so I get
you
quite
can't.
Down and depressed, and when I'm in a situation like this, it felt quite depressing. So we had to stop.
No, you're right. Have you ever seen
No, I've not watched it. I've not watched it. I won't watch it. I think it's going to be too bad.
I mean, it's like the woman the main character, Caitlin Denver, I think she's called. She's absolutely phenomenal. I've never seen anyone act that so well.
Yeah.
But it's harrowing. And then I was having a bad time anyway, and felt like speaking to me, and then I watched the whole fucking thing back to back, and then did a gig with a friend, and I was not right.
Yeah, no, you know you're not. Yeah, you also know you're not right. But especially when you see someone you know, that's normally when you go, "Oh yeah, there's something wrong with me," or they'll say, "Are you all right?" And you know then, no, there's something wrong. I've got something bad, which has been good for me over this last couple of weeks. I've done like a lot. We've been chatting a lot today, and we'll be seeing each other pretty much every week now, I think. Via this, but I like to talk to like Freddie and people like that via video chat, just like have a quick 2 minutes, and it feels a bit sort of like I'm connecting with my friends.
Yeah, I think that's what's cheered me up as well today, is to just having access to something else, to other people.
It makes a difference because there's me, Gabby, and my mother-in-law in this place, and that's fine between the three of us. Like we're good. We can see each other and be with each other for as long as we want to be, but I think there needs to be an element of, you can't just see the three of you for the rest of your lives.
Yeah. And then we're here with just Fortnite in the background. It was that bad yesterday. I even learnt to play it.
Well, there you go. That's it. You're going to become a gamer now.
Oh no, I've got problems because people say I'm dyspraxic. It's the coordination and stuff. So with computer games, I'm fine walking, but it's looking around
and walking and firing at the same time.
Yeah. So my actual head was doing this, but the controller wasn't. So I was just like, and now the kids have been doing impressions of me because
that's really funny. Right, we're going to have to wrap it up, Harriet, to try and keep these below at least half an hour, and we've done 25 minutes now, so we're going to have to wrap it up. But it has been lovely to speak to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been lovely to be near you. I am a delight, so yeah, of course.
You are an absolute delight, and I absolutely love speaking to you. So I'm going to wrap the podcast up. We're going to hang up on you now, so I'll say goodbye.
Okay, well, I'll see you on... But we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, keep in touch. I'll see you next week for your gig.
Okay, right. John. Lots of love.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
That was Harriet Dyer, everybody. She's great. I love her. She's my best friend. Still keep subscribing. I'm just going to point to that now every time I want you to subscribe. I like the fact I've got a little button up here that does subscribing. I thought, oh, it does move. There we go. Good. Right, well, that was Harriet Dyer. She's amazing. You seem to find her on Facebook, Twitter, all that sort of stuff. You saw her Twitter tag at Delinquent. Find her. She does a great gig called Barking Tales, which we've just done virtually online, which I helped her out with the tech with. That's what we're doing every week at the moment. So Thursdays at 8 o'clock. No, Wednesdays at 8 o'clock, we've got Harriet Dyer, Barking Tales, and today she had Mark Watson closing, and he was great. It was brilliant to watch it virtually via Facebook Live. That's how we're doing it. That's how we get out now. So we've got Facebook Live gigs, you've got the podcast, you've got my gig that runs on a Sunday at 7:30. That is called Comedy Virtually Live, and we have got a fantastic lineup coming up for every Sunday that we're locked in at the moment, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I can only say thank you to you guys. So please keep looking at the podcast, looking at the vodcast, I don't know what it's called on YouTube. Downloading, subscribe, do all that, like, share, whatever you need. That was Harriet Dyer. I've been John Pearson. I'm going to go now. Goodbye.